G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. I hope you enjoy Tim Tams as much as I do. Season 1, Episode 1, Disappear. I am standing in line in what appears to be a huge underground cavern. There is a person standing next to me on my right, and I know she is here because of me. But who is she? And how do I know this? I don't remember her. I also know that she brought me here in a long black car with darkened windows and has been standing with me in this long line for quite a while. The line extends a long way behind me to the other end of the cavern, where there is a wide doorway where we entered. We are about 12th in line of a long line of over 100 people. How do I know all this? I have not turned to look, but I just know. I wonder what will happen when we get to the end of the line, and an overwhelming feeling of dread washes over me. In this moment, I know that I have been here many times before, perhaps hundreds of times, although I cannot seem to remember any details about those times. As I look to my left, not moving anything except my eyes, I see many small cages arranged on the floor in the distance, and realize how immensely vast this area is. I squint, trying to see what is in those cages, wishing that I could turn my head, but knowing that I must not move in this line, except as the line advances. Suddenly in my mind, I hear, "Help me." The voice is very high-pitched, as though it came from a child. As I wonder where this voice is coming from, I realize that no one else seems to hear it. How do I know that? Help me, help me, help me, help me. Now I am continuously hearing these words. Help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. Over and over again, sounding more and more desperate each time. Eventually, when I think I just cannot stand it anymore, the words soften slightly, although they are still sounding desperate. I hear, "Please help me. You are the only one who can hear me. I am here." One of the cages on my left seems to move closer and closer until it is only a few meters from me. But how? There are no wheels, and no one is pushing it. It just appears to silently slide across the floor. I perceive that no one else is aware of this happening. I realize that I must make no indication of noticing these things and give the impression of being like everyone else in the line. I am in a line of people, so I am obviously supposed to be like these people. I have to look like I am one of them. As I wonder how this is happening, I notice that I have moved closer and am now 10th in line, although I do not remember stepping forward. Out of the corner of my eye, I see a brownish-grey cage, about 1 meter cubed, with bars on every side, including the top and bottom. Inside the cage is a person, looking directly at me with big round eyes. He is filthy dirty and wearing tattered clothes, I think, that seem very old and much too small for him. It is like his clothes are partially transparent. Is he actually wearing any clothes, or are the clothes an illusion? I am now abruptly aware of the fact that he and many others are kept in all these small cages. Oh dear, do all those cages have people in them? As I very slowly begin to turn my head, so slowly that no one would even notice, so I can look directly at him, I hear a desperate, "No, don't turn, do not look." I very slowly turn back and looked towards the front of the line. I hardly moved my head at all. How did he notice? Oh, my thoughts. The woman who brought me here, her name is Fionnuala, but people call her Fenella. How do I know that? She is still standing next to me in line and roughly grabs my arm and digs her nails into me. I can see from her thoughts that she noticed that I turned my head very slightly. She watches my every movement. She thinks that is part of her job. Maybe it is. Is she fearful of what will happen to her if anyone else noticed? Will she pierce my skin with her nails this time, or just leave bruises? I do not recall her doing this before, so how do I know that she has done this before? I make sure I show no indication of how much pain I am in, as is required. Required by whom? A minute passes and she relaxes a little, realizing that no one else noticed my movement, but she is still very angry with me. I can feel it. Why is she thinking that anything I do that they consider to be wrong, she will be punished? Who are they? As I begin to see her past punishments in her thoughts, I quickly turn my attention back to the caged person, so I do not see her being hurt. I am sure I have not looked directly at this person in the cage, so how did I see him so clearly? Again, I see him very clearly as he speaks in my mind. Please help me. You are the only one who can. Thoughts? No, not thoughts. Maybe memories. They come flooding in. Oh, such shocking, unspeakable acts being done. No, do not show me these things. No matter where I am, why do I have to keep seeing people hurt other people? As I am exposed to his memories, I make myself stand rigid, every muscle straining to make sure that I do not move as I feel my body about to involuntarily shudder. Why am I seeing this? It is far worse than the woman's punishment memories. Please, do not show me people being hurt. Please stop. Should I run? Should I get far away from this place as fast as possible? I am not allowed to run. 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 I remain in this line, and my feet take another step forward instead. This is my life, says the voice, shaking with emotion. Please, help me. It was like I saw this person's whole life in what seemed like an eternity, but I know that only a few seconds had passed. No, saw is the wrong word. Maybe experienced? No, it was more like a knowing. I didn't know, and then I did. I know everything about his life. How he was deliberately bred to be used as leverage to force his highly skilled father to comply to their demands. I wonder how a person could live through all that torture and pain. How is he still alive? How am I still alive? Please, says the voice. We do not have much time. I look ahead and count again. I am now 6th in line. The line is advancing quickly. The voice begs me to tell someone who could come and rescue him. I wonder who I could tell. There is no one. Everyone I know would just hurt him more. The voice says, "Please, tell someone who can help. You could tell the police." I have heard about the police, but I thought they were a fairy tale. An organisation of adults who are meant to help people. Does that really exist? I will remember you, and I will try to find someone who has the capacity and ability to rescue you, I promised the boy, even though they erase my memories of this place from my mind after each visit. What? Did I say or think that? Who are they? And how can my memories be erased? And if they were erased, how do I know? I decide that I will not let anyone erase my memories of the boy, although I do not know how. And that I will keep my promise. I always keep my promises. Promises are meant to be kept. Suddenly, I hear in my thoughts, "Stop! Think about something else. They are coming. Do not let them discover what you can do. Quick, think about your other life on the surface, your house, your family, normal things that you have to do each day. Do not let them know what you can do." What does he mean by my family? I do not have a family. Is this just another test? I can see in his mind that it would also be very bad for him if they knew we were communicating, and if he did not inform them of this fact. He has no intention of letting them find out. I see in his mind, but different to before, as though I am watching something happening to other people. People being aggressively dragged out of the line, just like the line I am in, and violently thrown on the ground. People being treated like they are objects to be harmed, beaten into submission, but at the same time also greatly feared. Like a nuclear missile that I have seen in some of the scientists' minds. Respect what it can do, but it can be owned and dismantled and used as they see fit. They can do whatever they want to it and with it. That is how they see us. I see this happening to certain people in a line, like watching small sections of a film. The cage seems to quickly return to its original position again, with no sound, but also no movement. How can it move with no movement? Suddenly, understanding comes rushing into my mind. The cage did not physically move. My mind drew it nearer to me. Or was it his mind? The voice interrupts my thoughts and says, "Do not let this happen to you." Again, I see people being dragged out of the line, violently thrown on the ground, and the voice interrupts. "Quick! Stop looking. Concentrate on your house and normal things you have to do each day. Your surface life. They are almost here." Your house? My house? I do not have a house. Does he mean the house where I have to be on the surface? The connection, or whatever it was, is suddenly gone. I feel hollow. An empty feeling washes over me, and I realize that the connection made it seem like I was not so alone. I hear a low rumbling noise, and I know that something is coming to check the people in the line. Will they check me as well? Am I a person? I remember what the voice said, and I begin to think about the surface, the house, what I have to do, where I have to go, and what happens to me there. The rumbling noise is getting closer, sounding more like a whirring noise now than a rumble. That is interesting. The closer it gets, the higher pitched it sounds. I concentrate on the memory of standing in the room where I have to sleep, with the door shut. I watch the door handle, hoping and wishing that it will not move and that no one will come through. I feel the thought connection again just for a moment, and his scared voice quickly whispers, "No, normal stuff, happy stuff, good stuff." The connection is gone again. I was thinking normal stuff. Was that memory normal? It was normal for me. That is how I spend the majority of my time on the surface. I watch the door handle, knowing that as soon as it moves, someone will come in and hurt me. I try to think of something good, but everything I have to do, everywhere I have to go, and the people that I have to be with, it is always bad. That whirring noise is so close now, and I am still trying to think of something good. I quickly settle on thinking about being outside the surface house, usually late at night and often during thunderstorms. I sit on the back step with the dog. I make myself think of giving the dog ear rubs and scratching the spot on her back that makes her foot shake. It is probably the most normal memory I have, although I'm not really sure what normal is meant to be. Suddenly, floating things enter the cavern. They are small, dark grey and shiny, and have what I assume are 4 small whizzing blades, similar to helicopters, one on each corner. They whir past me to the back of the line. I know, without turning to see, that a person is being dragged out of line and violently thrown across the floor. This was done by the people dressed in white lab coats that accompanied the whirring things, similar to what I saw in my mind earlier. I know that the person they hurt was chosen randomly to elicit fear amongst the people in the line. Why would they do that? Suddenly a whirring thing appears directly in front of my face, so close that I almost flinch, and it seems to be connecting with me, similar to what the boy did earlier, but more mechanical. I think about the dog again, rubbing her ears and watching her foot shake as I scratch the spot on her back. As the whirring thing returns back down the line where it was up to, before it abruptly came to me, I am suddenly aware of another voice in my mind. Oh no. A deep-sounding voice, but also very deep down in my mind, like another level, many levels deeper than the boy's voice. I hear this deep voice say, "I have not found a person like you in a very long time. Well, actually, I have never found a person like you. You're like me." I'm scared. How is this voice here? If this voice is in my head, will those things come back? Oh. It is gone. I'm not sure how. I remember what the boy told me and try to concentrate on my dog memory again. I keep it at the front of my thoughts, ignoring all else. The deep voice overtakes everything that I am trying to think about. Oh no. Please, do not be in my mind. The deep voice seems hesitant. Oh, he is gone again. Did I do that? Or was it him? The whirring things and people in white lab coats are up to the person behind me in line. And now it is my turn, but all they see is the dog wiggling her leg as I scratch her back. The whirring things go to the next person in front of me. The mechanical connections were very weak compared to the deep one, closer to the child's connection level, but just, well, different. As I wonder why the whirring things are only going to the people on the left, I realise that we are all standing in pairs in this line. The people on the left of each pair are all similar to each other, in that we all have surface lives. We all have similar things happen to us when we reach the end of the line. The people standing next to each of us in the line all seem to be in an odd state. It seems as though the real them is submerged or held captive in their minds, and something else has taken over. It might also be them, but a different section or part or piece. It almost seems like their minds have been segmented or engineered, only allowing what has been arranged, organised and selected by someone else to be at the forefront, to be in control and affect their body. Where are all their memories? None have memories of their childhood. Well, none that I can find. All I see are short-term memories and other things. I am not sure what they are, but they seem odd. This is all so... Am I dreaming? Maybe daydreaming? How can any of this be real? As I step forward, I realise that I have reached the end of the line. Fear suddenly grips me. Oh, I feel my body go rigid, and the hairs on the back of my neck feel odd. Oh, my head hurts. And those little lights appear that I seem to see just before I faint. But I know what to do. I concentrate with all my strength to make myself stay conscious. I know it will work because I have done this many times before. Have I? Fenella, the woman next to me, is receiving instructions. She roughly grabs my arm and holds so tight that it hurts. Fenella pulls me forward as though she wants me to walk into the solid wall ahead of us. But as she takes a step, her foot disappears. Then her leg, up to her thigh. What is happening? As Fenella moves forward, her body begins to disappear from the front to the back. Her arm is almost gone. Just her hand remains grasping my arm so tight that I cannot wriggle out of her grip. No, that is a scary place. It is a place where they hurt people. And me. Is there any place where I am not hurt? Please, let me go. Do not make me disappear like you. Oh no, my arm, my shoulder, they are gone. I hear a desperate voice in my thoughts. Remember me.